A man crouches behind some bushes along the roadside. He has a mask on and he has a gun in his hand. Pretty soon, a well-dressed gentleman comes along and the man rushes out, holds the gun to his head, and says, "Give me your money." The well-dressed gentleman says, "Son, you can't do that, for I am a congressman of the U.S." "Well then, give me back my money." What are we going to do to derive a moral purpose out of the parable in this gospel? We're dealing with a bunch of rascals. Take the steward, for example. He not only has stolen from the master, but when he finds out that he is being released because of his dishonesty, he says, "What can I do? I can't labor. I'm too proud to beg. I know what I'll do. I'll call in the debtors and reduce their debt to me so that they will be grateful, so that when I am released, I can go and be with them." Then we come to the debtors. They accept the reduction in their debt. The owner had a lot of land, and he parceled out the land to those who would farm it, and he required 10% of what the crops produced. Maybe there was a bad year, but somehow these people, these men, these farmers, fell behind. And some of them were so far in debt, it was almost impossible for them to ever get out of it. Well, they accepted the reduction in their debt without question, even though they didn't deserve it, even though they didn't earn it. And then there's the master. He complimented the wicked steward because he was very smart in terms of getting along in life. Well, the issue, whether or not the steward was justified in stealing more money to provide himself a place in society, is not the issue here. Whether or not the debtors were justified in accepting the reduction they did not earn is not the issue in this parable. Whether or not the master was justified in praising the steward for his dishonesty is not the issue. The point is, Jesus is telling us we need to be just as clever in pursuing eternity as we are in getting along in society. It's so easy to be able to have the means to take care of the bumps in life as they come along. A same story with two endings. You're driving along and you blow a tire. You take out your cell phone, you call the tow truck, he comes out, tows you to the dealer puts a new tire on, you take out your credit card, you pay the tow truck driver, you pay the dealer for the tire, and off you go. Not very much inconvenience. Another man driving along, has the same thing happen to him. He blows a tire. He gets out, walks 1.5 miles to the bus stop, takes the bus home. After work the next day, he goes into a tire place, buys a used tire, goes out and changes the tire, and goes home. And he eats peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the rest of the month. We can't rely on conveniences that we can afford. We can afford. It is not up to us to decide what's right and what's wrong in these regards. And a good example of this is in the first reading in the book of Amos. 750 years before Jesus came to us on earth, the Israelites were profitable. And the more they profited, the more they stole, the more they cheated, the more they fixed scales to weigh things. And they had completely forgot about the God who had provided all these things for them. We cannot afford to use the things that God has given us inappropriately. Jesus gave us examples through parables. He gave us examples by living out what he wanted us to do, and he wants us to take those examples, to translate them into our own daily lives, and use them so that we can become closer to Jesus. We must be very, very cautious not to make a God out of our own possessions. We came into this world with nothing, and we will leave this world with nothing. We have been loaned things by God, and we must be very cautious to take care of those things that God has loaned us. And God bless you.